Hi, this is Susan Broder from Speak Languages and Travel the World, speaking to you from Munich, Germany, from the Christkindlmarkt, so the Christmas market, and I'd like to talk to you today about how to speak a language like a native. But before I do so, I'd like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so I know that the videos I'm making are the right ones for you. So, how to speak a language like a native. Let me first tell you two things. First of all, I don't know what language you speak and I don't know what language you're learning, but every language has a different type of movement in your mouth, so that if you want to pronounce it correctly, you move different muscles, you move your tongue differently. And generally, if you haven't spoken a different language, after a while your jaw and your tongue and the muscles in your jaw start to hurt. So that means that you're practicing well. So that's an important factor first. If you want to speak a language like a native, you have to move your muscles in your mouth the way a native does. And it's like doing physical education. Your muscles have to get used to it, so you'll have to speak in order to get used to it. So let me explain, let me tell you a personal story. So when I was at middle school in England, I started learning German, and I started learning German for 3 years with grammar, vocabulary, and everything the traditional way, so that when my family moved here 3 years later, I was put into a class where one speaks German. The teacher spoke German, but I didn't understand one word because it was just too difficult for me. However, I was immersed in visual prompts from everywhere in the city, and I could also, read, listen, and I had to speak whether I liked it or not, because whenever I wanted to get somewhere and ask for information or buy something, I had to speak German, even making mistakes. So I finally learned to speak the language, and I did that speaking. So I'd like to give you 3 important pieces of advice on how to learn to speak a language like a native. The first piece of advice is to surround yourself with visual prompts, which means setting your Facebook page into English, your phone settings into English, your computer settings into English, if that's the language you're learning, or whatever language you're learning. Instead, you should also surround yourself with anything audio, such as podcasts, films, and so on, in the original language. And finally, and most importantly, you have to speak, or you'll never train your speaking muscles. And it really doesn't matter if you make any mistakes. Actually, you learn from making mistakes. So that's an important fact. Don't be shy. Just speak, because you'll be training your speaking muscles. And now, many years later, I'm often confused for a native speaker, which I think is the greatest compliment I can have. Therefore, you do need to practice. And actually, I've not been living in Germany for many years. I've been going back and forth, traveling a lot, and so I haven't been permanently here. Yet, people still mistake me for a native speaker. Therefore, speaking trains your speaking muscles, and the only way you can practice speaking is by speaking. So that's the most important tip I can give you. Okay? And please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more tips like this. Okay. Bye. Bye for now.